I'm Jane Walker. I'm the CEO and founder of the Purple Community Fund. We're so grateful to all of you who have funded the education programme. It's made education possible for all these children who wouldn't normally be able to afford to go to school. When our former Philippine partner changed the education programme and closed the school, there were hundreds of children that dropped out, and we really wanted to be able to respond to that. We started Upskills Plus Foundation, our own Philippine charity, in 2017. It was predominantly for livelihood and for medical, but it also enabled us to offer a special education programme for the children. And we completely redesigned the education programme because the government schools have greatly improved. So all the children were enrolled in the government programmes. And we decided that we would group 20 children together and we asked parent volunteers if they would help mentor and coach and just provide emotional support for the children in their group. We then trained the parents how to go to the government schools and monitor their school attendance and their grades, and something really wonderful happened. The parent volunteers just developed really close relationships with the children, and they started to be able to let us know when any change in circumstances happened with the kids. That might have been a death or a sickness in the family, and we were able to respond really, really fast then because of that. So we named our education programme the Community Education and Mentoring Programme, CEMP for short, and we're really pleased to say that all the UK-sponsored children are with us now under Upskills, as well as other children that have dropped out of school. We're able to provide a higher level of support to the students now. The children receive their school uniforms, their rainwear clothes, their school bags and all the school supplies. We're able to provide transport for the children, and they come into the community kitchen to either collect a packed lunch or they sit down and eat a meal with us before they go on to school. And we just find that this coupled together with the parent volunteers and the relationship they have with them just really sets the children up for success. What we have been able to do is rent buildings just opposite where the families and the children live. This is now our new community and mentoring education programme here, and as you can see, it's a place where the children can drop in at any time they want. They come in for advice, they come in to use the computers to help with their assignments. Our tutors are here just to help them if they're struggling with their grades. Everything that really needs to set them up for success is here. We asked the children what other activities, what other things they would like to see us doing, and they said they'd love to do some out-of-school activities. So we've organised a partnership with the Scouts Association. They can do choir and drama here. One of the students said they really wanted to start an orchestra, so we're looking at raising funds for instruments. We had a volunteer who spent a couple of months here with us and desperate now to start a martial arts club for the students because they so loved it. And we also had a wonderful volunteer who I met on the plane, and he helped set up a whole room editing suite where the children can take their own videos, they can make their own videos, they can have a voice, they can speak for themselves in the community what they want to do, they can take photographs, and we're just so excited because they made some of the most amazing films, and it's just a wonderful opportunity for them to be able to hone those skills. So when the dump site closed in 2017, the parents didn't know where to bring all the waste, and so they basically brought it into this residential area, and this is now a massive recycling area where families are segregating pieces of plastic and metal and putting them in these sacks. The trucks come down and collect the waste and sell it to the recyclers, but because the dump site is no longer active, it just means that their income is greatly reduced, and this has caused untold problems really for our students. For the first time, we find that the fathers were actually asking us to start a livelihood programme for them, similar to the ones that we started for their wives. They simply aren't able to earn enough money anymore to provide healthy meals for their families, and because of that, their healthcare suffered. We started to see more and more children that were working, and that was something that we had seen stopped when the school started. And so we really needed to think about how we could create sustainable employment for the fathers, and that's when we came up with the idea of taking airplane tyres and using those for the soles for sandals and making shoes. We're also looking now at doing the inner tube from truck tyres and making that as an upper and providing a school shoe because there are so many school children in this area. There are nearly 30,000 and it gives us an amazing opportunity to create a very sustainable livelihood for the dads. So this year 49 out of our 53 students have passed the entrance exams and will be going to university, and the other 4 will be going on to vocational training college. I think it's just incredible that the children achieve that level, that they're able to get into university given the environment where they live and all the challenges that are around them. I spend several months of my year here in the Philippines and now have the great privilege of seeing some of the child workers that I first started to work with now completing their education and going on to employment. It's just very heartwarming to see that happen, considering all the hardship that they've gone through to get to that stage. This year we had 6 students that graduated from university. 1 has already secured a job. The other 5 are going on for our employment training, which involves learning how to write a really good CV, practicing interview techniques, and just how to maintain a job while they're in the workplace. So we're really excited for them to go through. Because we work so closely with the families, when a crisis happens, we're able to respond quickly. But when the government sells the land that the families are squatting on, then our work overnight completely changes. That's exactly what happened to this community 2 weeks ago. Nearly 2,000 people have been moved out and are living in a relocation area, and where the relocation area is better because they have better housing, it does mean that the children that were registered in school here in Manila now have to be registered in another area, and some of those children are UK-sponsored children, making it difficult for us to always be able to give accurate reports. But one thing that we can say is that we'll ensure that every child will continue in education. I'm now working with the UK Embassy and with the National Housing Authority here in the Philippines to have a portion of land in the relocation area so that we can ensure the continued education for these students. The relocations are likely to go on for many, many months yet, and we're not sure which of our students will be moving and which ones won't be moving. And again, that's why our work sometimes can be very, very difficult. One of the biggest concerns right now with the families are what will happen to their students who are already in college. They need to be able to stay here in Manila because there aren't those colleges in the relocation areas, and they've asked us if we can open dormitories for them, somewhere where the children can sleep and they can stay safe and they can ensure that they can stay in college. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here for those students that are in university and college. What I find really difficult is seeing all the children that we're not helping. It's wonderful for the kids that are in our programs, but I'd love to be able to find more sponsors, to be able to sponsor more groups of children and give the same opportunities to them as we're giving to our existing students right now. So we cannot express how grateful we are to all of you, both in the UK and the Philippines, for your patience and your support. And while we've been re-establishing our work here, and now again as we restructure in response to these huge changes imposed on our community. None of this could be done without you, and if it takes a village to raise a child, then what does it take to raise a community of the most vulnerable people out of extreme and self-perpetuating poverty? It takes all of us, together, relentlessly.